Firestudio control console exists between your Firestudio and computer, receiving inputs from both your Firestudio and your recording software and routing them to the Firestudio's outputs. The control console gives you the ability to create up to 9 zero-latency stereo mixes. The hardware setup we're using for this demonstration is a Firestudio, a Digimax FS connected to the Firestudio's ADAT in and out, an HP4 headphone amp for the drummer connected to the Firestudio's line outputs 3 and 4, another HP4 for the other musicians connected to the Firestudio's line outputs 5 and 6, and finally, studio near-field monitors connected to the Firestudio's main outputs. In the studio, our drum mics are plugged into channels 1 through 8 on the Firestudio. These cover kick, snare top, snare bottom, tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, overhead right, and overhead left. The bass is plugged into input 9, which is the first instrument input on the Digimax FS. The guitar and vocals are plugged into channels 10 and 11 on the Digimax FS. You can name these inputs by double-clicking on the scribble strip below the mute and solo buttons on each channel. Our recording software is playing a few pre-recorded backing tracks on streams 1 and 2, and a click track is set to play on streams 7 and 8. These streams are assigned in our recording software. Now we're going to create and route separate mixes for you in the band. Mix 1 will be the main control room mix. To rename a mix, right-click its name tab. In OS X, this is a control click. In the output section of the mixer, assign the main mix to outputs 1 and 2 on the Firestudio. To assign outputs 1 and 2 to the Firestudio's main outputs, switch to the Outputs Router tab. To the left of the faders at the bottom, click the Main button in the Main Assign section. Hover over Hardware Outputs Analog 1 and 2 and click them to assign the main outs to these outputs. A blue MO will appear above the stereo channel to indicate it is assigned to the main outputs. Now click on the Mixer tab to adjust the main mix. For the control room mix, we'll mute the click track and create a rough mix for monitoring the overall band. Now let's set up mix 2 for the drummer. In the output section, assign this mix to outputs 3 and 4, where his HP4 headphone amp is connected. Once again, to listen to this mix, go to the Outputs Router tab and click the Main Assign button. Double-click outputs 3 and 4 to have the control console copy the output stream to our monitors plugged into the main outs. This allows us to listen to the drummer's mix as we build it. He wants some of the pre-recorded tracks, a strong click, his overheads, a little kick and snare, a lot of bass, and just enough guitar and vocals to know where he's at in the song. Mix 3 will be for the other musicians. Let's copy the drummer's mix to use as a starting point for the band's mix. To do this, click on the Copy button. Click on Mix 3 and click Paste. Now, assign the band's mix to outputs 5 and 6 where their HP4 is connected. In the Outputs Router tab, assign the main outs to reference outputs 5 and 6 so we can monitor this mix in the control room while we set it up. Our band's mix will consist of backing tracks, no click, a decent amount of kick and snare, a little drum overheads, and an equal mix of bass, vocals, and guitar. Each mix has a unique master fader to adjust its overall send level. If your musician's headphones are too loud, lower the master fader to cut the signal going to their headphone amps. To save a mix on your hard drive for recall later, click the Save button above the master fader in the Mixer tab. Name your mix and click Save. To load a mix off of your hard drive, click the Load button. Highlight your mix and click Open. For more information on the Firestudio and the control console's many uses, please visit the PreSonus website.